you know who Dave Lee is?
Who is Dave Lee? Fucking Lee, who is he?
Hi, my name's Jonathan. I was once a member of Friction. People ask me how I came to be in the great band Friction, and it's actually kind of a long and sordid story. Come on in. No, please, feel free to come on in. Yeah, enjoy yourself there. The way it happened was I understood that they had some issues. Come on in. No, please. Right here. Number 3's open. Number 4 is taken. You need number 4? You need number 3?
I'll wait.
3's good.
I'm good.
Okay, thanks a lot. So anyway, people asked me how I got involved in Friction, and I understood that they had some artistic differences with the previous bass player, and so they asked me to come in, and I was glad to help. Yeah, thanks a lot. We'll see you later.
Take it easy.
Okay, thanks for coming by. Do you know Dave Lee?
Do I?
Do you know Dave
Yes,
Lee?
I do.
How do you know him?
We went out one time.
How was that?
It was living hell. It was a nightmare. He's the worst lover I ever had.
Can you elaborate?
Even when I heard that.
Okay.
It's really bad.
Have you talked to him since then?
No, I haven't.
Why not? Has he called you?
No, he haven't. And I don't really feel. I gave him the wrong number.
Oh, okay. That's good.
What do you think of David Lee?
Who's David Lee? You mean like David Lee Roth? There is no David Lee. Barry, you're putting me on.
David Lee of that band Friction.
Friction? Friction's a fiction.
Let me see. He was my absolute best interview for Christian Science Monitor. I write for them in their music piece, and the thing that I'll never forget about interviewing David was that we did the whole thing kneeling right before me. It was the best.
Yeah, Dave was a great guitar player, man. He learned how to play Stairway when he was 13. He was, Jimmy Page was like 25 when he wrote it. I think that says it up.
Well, I think that the band really broke up because of a little problem between Dave and Bernd. You know, Bernd's not that easy to get along with sometimes. He's got a really hot temper. And, you know, I think that after that one fist fight we had in that bar, and then Dave grabbed the front of Bernd's hair and ripped it all out, and then I don't think Bernd ever recovered from that, and Dave just doesn't really like conflict anyway.
David Lee? That fucker owes me money.
I'm here with Ardwick Ardmore, former director of artists and repertoire for Pacific Records. Ardwick, I understand that in your days at Pacific, you had dealings with Come On Left On Noise, the band also known as Friction.
Yes, well, I think I was sent a tape. Yeah, I think I was sent a tape several years ago of Fraction. I saw a cassette tape. I got in the mail, and I remember I came to Washington to see the band. I can't remember the club. The 10:30 club, I believe, something along those lines. A name. I saw the band.
And do you have any direct impressions of David Lee?
Oh, David Lee.
The evolution of our name was quite a process. We started out as Urban Squall. That's a very little known thing, but we were first Urban Squall, and then we became Left On Noise, which really was the name I liked the best. And then Dave wanted to name us the Aardvarks, but no one liked that. So then we ended up with Friction, which described the way the band went about finding a name. And one of the other options was Kitten with a Whip, or we also considered being 3 Dicks and 2 Chicks, but we stuck with Friction.
I like your first name better.
So you probably heard that we did consider having Friction play at the inaugural. We were actually very close to getting them there, but turns out that Mr. Lee's connections to the Lippo group started to work against him a little bit, for better or for worse. We found that his ties to the campaign scandal probably were a little inappropriate for the appearances, so we needed That's too bad. It's terrible.
You know, that's what goes in money. And if I can, if you can tell them I want the money, and after you say this, tell them I want the money. You know what I'm talking about?
Excuse me. Do you remember David Lee?
No.
David Lee, the lead singer from Friction?
Who? Friction? Oh yes, David Lee, nice guy, nice guy. We went out maybe once, maybe twice.
Did you sleep with him?
I know you've just broken up with that guy named Dave Lee. He treated you so horribly. But everything stems from the two people's childhood. It's the person's childhood that makes them what they are. We all have our ids, our egos, and then Dave has his alter ego.
Lee, David Lee. Yes, I do remember the name. Yes. Oh yes, he owed the government quite a lot of money, actually, tax evasion
And I called my folks and told them, you know, I'm so happy I got this new job in Friction. It's just an awesome opportunity for me. I was really giddy, actually. It was just an incredible experience. And we were having these rehearsals. We had a big gig coming up at a place in Georgetown. It was quite a large venue, actually. And during one of the rehearsals, Dave was explaining to me how to play one of the songs. I'm like, okay, man, you play it your way, I'll play it my way. And I kept playing it my way, and at one point he wanted to show me how to play the song. I'm like, all right, show me how to play the song. And he kept coming over and he would kind of like stand behind me and reach around and show me the fingerings, you know. And I said, Dave, I don't play it that way. And he goes, well, this is an alternative fingering, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Really, for me, the be-all and end-all of all of it was David Lee. I mean, he was huge. He was so large. He was everything to me as a child. I think it was most really the pick technique and the alternative fingerings that led me to a really completely different understanding of what the guitar could be in rock and roll.
He was the man. In fact, he played this one song. Now, what are the chords to that song? What are the chords to that song? Come on. Come on and, yeah, jump. Come on and jump. I'm gonna jump.
No, David Lee, that fucker owes me money.
So, you know, the thing with the band breaking up, it was basically the heroin. I mean, Dave was always on the smack. And the hookers, you know, we had the writers in the contract for his hookers, and the tour support bill was just going sky high. And the things he had them do, and oh God, I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, I don't what.
I like the early name better.
I really like Friction's first name best. We talked about that quite a bit. That's when I began to like really stroke his hair, and then he told me the real story about how Left on Noise became Friction.
Yeah, Friction? Aren't those dudes from California or something? No way. I think I jammed with them once, man. At Grog and Tankard or something. Yeah, it was a great band until they broke up because Dave and that guy John, it was that New York faggot, man. I couldn't take it, man. I mean, I wanted Dave for myself.
And so I had enough of that basically, and I said, no way, I'm out of here, man, I can't take this. And so basically sexual harassment drove me out of Friction. And I'm so scared of the guy today, basically. I hang out here. It's a men's restroom in a bar somewhere, in New York. I don't even know the name of this place, but anyway, you can see this is what my life is reduced to.
Oh, you know, it's like that Alice Cooper thing where they say that he swallowed a chicken's head. Those stories really get blown up. What really happened was that Dave was upstairs in our house. We lived in a group house there, me and Dave and Sahi and Crazy Dan. And anyway, Dave was upstairs and he was playing the guitar and he puts the pick in his mouth and then he starts wailing away and then he swallows the guitar pick. So he runs downstairs and I could see something in his throat right there. It was really quite scary and he had a very scared expression on his face. And he started to say something, but it sounded more like So, I didn't know what to do, and Sahi came and we called her father because he's a surgeon, and he said, well, just, try to get him to swallow it, and then keep your eye out for it. So, Dave finally swallowed the guitar pick.
Did he ever see it again? Did it come out okay?
No. As far as we know, it's still in there.
Journalists have speculated for years on the subject of an incident involving the ingestion of a guitar pick. Can you comment on this? Do you have any information on what may have been a really remarkable case?
Yes, I remember the night that I saw the band. There was like a protrusion from Mike Lee's throat. It's a little triangle protruding. And
a sort of bulge?
Pardon?
A sort of bulge?
A protrusion.
A bulge.
Okay. A bulge. Other women. I remember women.
Say no more.
Women would talk about another bulge on the staff. I don't want to get cheap.
What about that spot on his penis you were talking about?
Oh, I do remember him. We worked out quite a creative payment plan, and I do remember in my diary it says we had the most fun. He had this cute little spot on his penis. We call it Willy, and actually we used to play this little game, Wee Willy Winky. We used to play it all the night long. It was great fun.
Was it a size issue?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never saw it myself, you understand. But what I heard was when he entered the stage, that wouldn't be right. No. When he walked on stage, it was immediately noticeable. And women's eyes were just direct to the center.
Well, I was working on my own EP with this little side project I had, Bad Doug and the Dead Guys. We had this record, we were going to call it Songs About My Penis. But no, Left on Noise, I think that was a better name. Urban Squall, that really sucked.
Yeah, I guess I really like Friction, but we kind of like the earlier name that they had before.
What about the Heaving Orgies? I mean, they were such a model for my band, Lustrous Dick, and everything we've done ever since then. And that mostly it was the work in the hotels that I really tried to emulate.
David Lee, that fucker owes me money. How much is that camera worth?
The thing that I really wish our band could have done was, I wish that we had made some t-shirts. If we'd made those t-shirts, we'd still have them today, and you never have enough t-shirts.
David Lee, that guy owes me money.
He was great before he left Van Halen.
Oh, David Lee, man, it was a shame when he left Van Halen. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Left on Noise, right? That's it. When he left on Noise.
When you're like a boy, growing up in Swinburne on Thames, I mean, it's there's really very little, I mean, you've got the local pub and the jukebox, and you've got John Peel on the BBC radio, and I mean, there were, I mean, there's so few role models.
This is called Therapist Success Story. There are other lyrics to this, like regarding a certain recent incident, but I'm not going to play them tonight because I'm too afraid of getting sued. You'll have to catch us sometime when we're not in public. Too open to lawsuits. You ready?
You should be my therapist.
I get another drink, you know, maybe some scotch, you know.
Yeah, man. I was their drummer for a while. They tried to kill me in some bizarre gardening accident. I don't know, man. It was fucked up.
David Lee, that fucker owes me money.
He does.
He does. Happy 30th birthday, Dave.
Happy 30th birthday.
You're on the wrong side of 30 now, buddy.
It's all downhill, right?
I'll be there before too long.
All right, good.
Does that red light mean you're actually recording? Because I remember we threw, like Kate was the only person I knew who actually ate one of those things, and I swear it was a cupcake.
No way. It was a Twinkie. It was Bastille Day. Who would throw cupcake? It was
We have to let them eat cake, not let them eat Twinkie.
Cake. Cupcake is not a cake. A
Let them-
Twinkie. Yes, like
a Twinkie is a cake. That's
It's like a finger food. It's like
or maybe it was like an equal opportunity snack food thing, and we had some of each. I mean, could we have some of each?
I think it was Twinkie.
Or ding dong.
It was cupcakes.
Yo, ding dong, yo.
It was cupcakes.
Or which are those the round ones or the
Which one?
ding dongs? They're round
They're
like
round
cookies.
chocolate and it has a little thing across the top and
ho-hos?
cream filling.
Maybe it was ho-hos.
It could have been Twizzlers.
No,
Did you ever think
it-
about that? It could have fucking been Twizzlers.
It was like sponge cake. It was white. I mean, like light color. It was Twinkies.
It was like hash brownies.
It wasn't hash brownies. Dave Lee was hash brownies.
Let them smoke crack, man.
Crack? We gave crack to the audience?
They loved us.
That's why we ran out.
Peace, love, and
We
vegetable
gave it to the
rights.
audience.
Thanks a lot.